of dedication. A vista into a world of wondrous ideas, signifying man's achievements. I thought I got a signal. Before our preview of Tomorrowland, I'd like to read these few words of dedication. A vista into a world of wondrous ideas, signifying man's achievement. A step into the future with predictions of constructive things to come. Tomorrow offers new frontiers in science, adventure, and ideals. The atomic age, the challenge of outer space, and the hope for a peaceful and unified world.
Those doves are, ladies and gentlemen, I hope, the harbingers of peace for the world of tomorrow. And now, here in Disneyland, the year is 1986. 1986. That's way ahead. And that's when Halley's Comet will flash past the Earth again. And the time of its arrival will be recorded on a futuristic clock like this one here, which tells you, incidentally, at a glance, the exact time on any spot on the Earth. Yes, this is Tomorrowland. And it's not a stylized dream of the future, but a scientifically planned projection of future techniques by leading space experts and scientists. Now, whether you visit this spot, the spaceport of the future, to experience the thrills of a rocket trip to the moon, or perhaps you go to see the Circle-Rama, that's a motion picture screen that completely encircles the audience, or perhaps this 70-foot model of a rocket-powered ship poised to blast off into outer space, you find yourself living predictions of things to come. Well, further out, just beyond here, next to Tomorrowland, is Autopia, and that's the super highway of the future. Art Linkletter will be along shortly to tell you all about it. Of each of our 48 states.
Flags now being unfurled are the efficient colors of the 48 states of this nation. It's appropriate that the Eagle Scouts handle this ceremony because these boys represent the citizens of the future. The world of tomorrow belongs to them. And now we'll take you into the future again in the aluminum exhibit and show you the aluminum telescope. Bob Cummings, take it away.
Well, we have here several exhibits that show you all about an atomic chain reaction. And here I have in my hand a...
Oh, hello. How do you do, Professor Haber? Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you a gentleman of considerable renown. This is Dr. Heinz Haber, and I'm sure you will remember him from Walt Disney's Tomorrowland. Mr. Haber has a very interesting experiment to show us here as we stand in front of this giant aluminum telescope, which was built especially for the Disneyland show. Go ahead, Doctor. Please tell us about it.
Bob, I must just explain to these kids that I have here an atom of uranium.
I see.
But, of course, it's only a loaded mousetrap.
It is, isn't it?
But the two things have one in common. They contain energy, can be released by a trigger like this.
Oh, yes.
You could say that this is splitting atoms.
Yes, we have that around home. Is this your son and daughter? Yes.
It's my daughter.
Very nice. Nice to see you,
But now, when an atom splits, it releases two neutrons.
I see.
The famous atomic particles that are found in the interior of atomic nuclei.
I see.
If they split, they are given off, like this. Watch.
Yes, you're giving off right toward the camera, too.
Yes, people are very much interested in these things.
Yes.
And this is why here in Tomorrowland we are presently preparing a show for you that tells all about the atom and what the atomic age will be like in the future.
I see.
You see, nature's energy comes from the atom, too. Through atomic energy, we get solar heat. And through sunshine, clouds, and rain, we are getting water power.
I see.
And with water power, we produce electricity for our show.
Right.
Now, soon we can do this in a shortcut with the atomic pile that will be able to produce for us electricity. Now, to show you how a pie looks inside, I have here on this table over 100 mousetraps. And they're all loaded and ready to go. Now you can imagine what happens if I throw just one neutron ping-pong ball into this pile of loaded traps. It triggers one, it gives off neutrons, and it triggers further, and finally, the whole pile will go off in a few seconds.
Well, that's amazing.
And this is a chain reaction. Would you like to start it?
Well, I don't think that I should do that. I'm a little shy. Say, why don't we just have your son standing right here, Doctor? Why don't you start the chain reaction with the ping-pong ball to demonstrate to our audience?
Okay. Stay back, everybody. Well, try again.
Try again.
Now, what you have seen here with the mousetraps and the ping-pong balls is an important part of your future, the power of the atom. And if you grow up, be certain that you use it wisely.
Now we're in Autopia, about a mile of superhighway adventure with all the kids lined up in little gasoline-driven automobiles that go whistling around the various freeway and highway convolutions at 11 miles an hour. These are gasoline-driven, and the kids can drive to their heart's content, with their parents or without their parents. Where are you going? Oh, stay right there. I didn't know where you... I thought I was going to be run over here for a second. Now, the entire Autopia goes by a lake and by canals. There's scenic features, and look who's riding in the various cars. Coming down the road here is my old friend Don DeFore, Ozzie and Harriet's next-door neighbor. Come on right by. Hello, Don. Good to see you. Keep on going. Here's Jeannie Crane. Hello, Gene. Frank Sinatra. Hello, Franco. Who's driving? Frankie Jr.?
My son, yes.
Don't hit this man. Oh. Look who hit who. Sammy Davis, Jr. Hello, Sammy. And where's Gail? Gail Storm should be coming by here in just a second with her kiddies. She's here with Peter and Paul, and they're all skimming around up there on the freeway. There's Mrs. DeFore. Now, these all have aluminum bumpers completely around them, as you might see over here, so they can't hurt anybody. And they have governors on them. They only run 11 miles an hour. And, of course, the women drivers are given a little special space, just as they are on the highways. Well, we got a lot more celebrities coming up. Come up here, Gail. I want you to see one of the prettiest gals in the world, Miss Gail Storm, and her little boy. We've been waiting for you, honey. How was the ride?
Well, I tell you, that's the greatest ride I ever had.
Thank you. Well, we ought to go down to the boat landing. Ronnie Reagan, are you there? Take it away.
Well, thank you very much, Art. And here on the lake of Tomorrowland, we have boats made out of fiberglass, and they're as strong and safe as anything afloat. And I have two customers right here, Bonita Granville and Jack Rather.
Hi, Ronnie.
Hi, Ronnie. How are you? Just fine. And say, I haven't seen you since we left the bus early this morning here.
Well, we had a nice ride out, and we've had a big day here.
Oh, boy. Can you see it all in one day?
Oh, it's impossible. It's a fabulous place.
And that gets me around to the other point. You're sort of interested in a hotel arrangement around here, aren't you?
Yes, we're building the Disneyland Hotel, which is right at the exit to Disneyland Park.
And you and Nancy have got to bring the kids and come out and stay with us.
When are you going to open?
We're opening part of it in September and the rest of it in January, Ronnie.
We shall be there in September.
Fine.
And now, in the meantime, why don't you have a boat ride? You know, this is a good chance to tell the people that's a $10 million hotel with swimming pool and everything. Then you can take 2 or 3 days.
Good.
Okay, have a boat ride.
Ronnie.
You bet.
Conquest of Space, exploring the future and the unknown up in the universe, is probably the last big challenging problem left to man, Danny.
It just about is. As a matter of fact, I'm absolutely flabbergasted at this fantastic place of amusement that Walt Disney and Company.
They got 30 minutes to go.
And I would say that this is one of the most exciting. Captain Barton, come over here. This is Danny Thomas. Captain Barton, I think. He's in charge of our two rocket ships. What are their names?
Diana and Luna.
Oh, after the moon.
Right, yeah.
Now, are you blasting off very shortly?
Just a few seconds, I'd say.
Danny doesn't want to go. He's a little skeptical.
You mean that thing really goes up?
You don't want to leave the Earth, Danny?
No, I certainly do not.
I think you've been out of this world for years, kid. Captain, you go over and get aboard the ship, and we'll contact you in a minute.
All right, fine.
All right?
Does it really go up?
Yeah, you see, there are two ships. They each accommodate about 103 people.
Oh.
And as a matter of fact, you over there, Captain Barton? Yeah. Ready to blast off? All right. Well, take it away, and let's take a little look at what it looks like. Oh, yeah.
I'd like to give you some idea about the rocket ship itself and explain some of the more interesting highlights of our operation here. Now, this will give you a pretty good idea of the rocket ship in which you will soon be traveling to the moon. Now, here's the captain's cockpit, and here are the crew's quarters. And this is the passenger section. In this section are two television screens, one above and another one below. So when the flight gets underway, you'll be able to see, by watching the upper screen, what's ahead of you, and by watching the lower screen, you can see what you've left behind. Now, this chart shows the flight path of the rocket ship Star of Polaris, which will be taking off shortly for the moon. Now, this is a typical flight path and approximates the one of your own trip.
Clear field preparatory to takeoff. Clear field preparatory to takeoff.
Attention blast-off crew. Attention blast-off crew. Report to Space Dock 3. Attention fire control crew. Attention fire control crew. Report to Space Dock 1. All field personnel take blast-off stations. All field personnel take blast-off stations. Field control to tower. Field has been cleared for takeoff.
Check. Tower to Captain, rocket ship TWA, Star of Polaris. You've been cleared for takeoff, Captain. Stand by.
Captain, Star of Polaris. All ready.
Starting countdown. 15 seconds. X14, X13, X12, X11, X10, X9, X8, X7, X6, X5, X4, X3, X2, X1. Fire! Again.
This is Captain Barton again from Disneyland Operations. Switching you back to the Rocket Polaris for more highlights of this space trip.
Per second. During the time I've been speaking, we've risen another 10,000 feet. We are assuming our flight course, which will take us over the Arctic Circle. You'll find most of the polar cap will be in shadow or night side. In a few moments, we'll be 1,075 miles high and pass the orbit of the space station.